do have their goal while enjoying the man advantage. That was scored. Elbowing is the call. Brunet got that goal from White and Alfredson at 12:58, and now Green is off for elbowing at the 19-minute mark.
Big conference here, I think, as to where the face-off should be, because the penalty took place well behind the play, and Neal, the injured player, is out there. Now they may, because of the delay caused by his slowness to get up, make him leave. If the trainer comes out, it's for sure you got to get off. The trainer didn't come out, but Neal took a few seconds to get his senses back, so he loses a little power play time.
Faceoff is going to be in the Ottawa zone. So Travis Green is in the penalty box. Ottawa man advantage. 1 minute left in the second period. Ottawa down 2 goals to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here we go. Leafs went wrong at a shot right off the faceoff. Crawley had one to draw. Arvidsson tucked it back behind the net. And they come away. Arvidsson gets the pass. Up over the line he goes. Brunet shoots it in behind that goal. Arvidsson comes in forward. Hits Brunet off a Leaf stick. Didn't handle it. Again, behind the goal it goes. Arvidsson looking to set it up the other way. Twisting and turning. Did get it out front. Ottawa's Phillips coming in from the line. It's kept in. Bond on the backhand. Won't shoot it on that side. Tried to flip the pass in and does. Turning with it, Brunet. He's pinned by Carmelet. Fired back to Alfredson at the blue line. Steps up. Risks the shot. That's stopped. Rebound is there for Ottawa. They line up out in front of the net. The pass goes wide. Alfredson take the shot. The pass to Alfredson didn't work. Ready bunt. The crowd didn't like that, but the time had gone anyway. It really didn't matter. And the second period is over. Shots were 15-8 in favor of Ottawa, but it's 3-1 Toronto.
The roominess of a minivan, capabilities of an SUV, the ride of a luxury car, conjured up in one innovative package, the 2002 Buick Rendezvous. Buick Rendezvous.
I love this town.
It's been 24 hours since Curtis Joseph backstopped the Leafs to a win over Pittsburgh. The big question, how is the hand, Curtis?
Oh, it feels good. This was the plan all along, that I was going to play one of the games, and we felt Pittsburgh might be the better game to play in. And so we got a couple treatments in today, this morning, and then tonight. So another week before playoffs should do the hand real well.
Curtis, has always pressure going into the playoffs, but do you not feel a little bit extra this time around? Because you've heard the stories. Cujo's back. Here we go.
Well, that seems to be the story every year. There's a little more pressure each year that you play. And we haven't won a Stanley Cup yet, so we're looking to play real well and go real deep in the playoffs and win a Stanley Cup here in Toronto. So we're excited about the upcoming playoffs.
Boston's winning big tonight, which means you're going to finish fourth. You'll open on Thursday. Does it matter who you play?
Well, we can't control who we play, and we'll find out probably either tonight or tomorrow. And no, we have to worry about our game and make sure that we're prepared. And I think that our eventual goal is to win the Stanley Cup. So, it doesn't matter who you play first.
Cujo, thanks for this.
Thanks.
Cujo of the Leafs. Coming up next, Hot Stove. Strack and JD have kissed and made up. There is no love lost here at the Corral Center in Ottawa between the Leafs and the Sens. Leafs up by 2.
From oil changes to brakes to tune-ups,
Customers feel confident knowing Midas Total Car Care has their car running in top shape.
She's running great. Let's jump the bridge.
But where do you go? You go. What are you gonna do? Midas, we do that.
You know, this room could use some new paint.
Yeah, I can do that.
How about rust? No, a pure red with a faux finish. Ooh, and that dry brush technique. Maybe a honey undertone.
How do I do that? It's easy. Let's start over here.
You know, she said something about dry brush.
It's dragging. And actually, there's a seminar tomorrow. Why don't you come out?
And you're gonna drag, and you're gonna weave. You've got it now, that's great.
It's beautiful.
It was easy.
Mom, how old is your doctor?
Mom? Dad? Everyone, I have something to tell you all. Now, this may not be easy for you, but I know you all just want me to be happy. You may have already guessed it, but
Doesn't look wonderful.
It's coming. The 2002 FIFA World Cup from Korea and Japan. Capture the magic. Starting May 31st on CBC.
Al Strachan's in Toronto, John Davidson in Philadelphia, and Eric's out west. Let's begin with the story of the Oilers missing out last night, Eric.
Yeah, the postmortems have started already, Ron. You know, the Oilers' season had a curious symmetry to it. They lost the first game of the season, 1-0 to Calgary, and then they were eliminated 2-0 in Edmonton by Calgary, and goal scoring was an issue for them all season, but not because of Mike Comrie. I mean, here was a guy who came in after half a season and was the engine that drove this playoff run along with Tommy Salo, and he's the big loser in all this because he's going to lose about $1.5 million worth of bonus payments had the Oilers made the playoffs. As it is, Edmonton will probably end up losing $4 million this year. That's less than Calgary, which is losing $7 million, and that's mainly because Edmonton sold out 29 games this year, Calgary just 8. And if Edmonton had won a playoff round, they would have come close to breaking even.
What about World Championships for those guys, Eric?
Well, you know what? Of the three guys on the big line, Comrie and Carter, I think, have a decent chance of going. But Ryan Smith, because he's really had problems with that foot since the surgery, may opt out. And this is a guy who's worn Team Canada sweater every opportunity that he could. But the fact is, I mean, he's not the player that he was physically, and I think he needs the summer off to recover.
You've got to admire him for coming back to the Olympics, but now in retrospect, you have to say, well, maybe he did push it a little bit, and I know that he did want to, and he did a good job when he was there, but maybe for the Oilers' point of view, he shouldn't have. You wonder if in an Olympic year, it might have been a different result.
Okay, here's a question for you two world-famous hockey writers. The Swedish club for the World Championships, the first 17 players that were asked to play have basically said no except for one, and that's Andreas Johansson. He belongs to the Rangers. Now, the reason he wants to play primarily is that it's going to be played in his hometown, mostly around Gothenburg in Sweden. 17 players, only one said yes, and a lot of it has to do with the way that they were treated after their loss to Belarus. Tommy Salo was vilified for one bad goal, and this guy has given some great hockey to Sweden over the years in international hockey. Do you think they have a valid point?
Well, the World Championships are something of a war, and that's the way Sweden usually treats wars.
Yeah, but you know what, JD, you're right. I mean, you know, it was a complete overreaction the way Salo was vilified. And the only defense I'll say is that a lot of the writers didn't come out as strong. It was the headline writers and the way the things were presented. I mean, it's people in the offices of newspapers that put those wanted posters up there.
We'll blame somebody else.
That is not the writers in Salt Lake City writing that copy, okay?
And the cartoonists as well.
Well,
they did a postage stamp showing Tommy Salo ducking and having the puck bouncing off his head.
Well, it was a bad game, and it was a bad performance by Tommy. Who's kidding who?
Well, the one goal was.
Yes, that's well. No, I'd say 3 of the 4 in that game, John. I'd say 3 of the 4 in that game. It was a bad game. It's just one, and it shouldn't have meant.
It's one game. Does a person deserve to have his career shattered over one game?
Ask Mark Crawford about the shootout in Nagano. It was the same thing in Canada. I mean, that's just passion. It's a huge stage, and when something goes awry, everybody gets up in arms.
We should do something about the headline writers then.
Exactly. I will say this, that 3 of the 4 teams who are going into the Stanley Cup playoffs representing Canada are led by Swedish captains, and the other by the Finnish captain, Saku Koivu. So Grape's got to be happy about that. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with lots of speculation about coaching changes and a video replay after this.
Satellite Hot Stove, brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Business has always relied on Canada Post to deliver the things that matter. Now it's a whole new world, so we're delivering in a whole new way. From e-files securely around the globe to innovative services wherever you do business. Today's Canada Post, from anywhere to anyone.
This is the time of the year when video replay is always in focus. And Al, let's look ahead to next year and some of the changes that won't be in vogue in this year's playoffs, but are big.
There shouldn't be as many delays next year. They're ordering these new machines which allow you to look at the videotape of the play you've just seen while the play is continuing. So if you have an instance where did it go in or didn't it go in, then we have to wait till the play finally stops and they look at it. This way they'll be able to look at it while the play is going on. As soon as it finally stops, they call over and they say, yeah, it was a goal, or no, it wasn't a goal. So that's a step in the right direction. Makes it all faster.
Hey, Al, the machine's called a TiVo. Does it not make sense to you guys? Every game that's on television is watched in Toronto in the war room there. Yeah. Why can't they make decisions on goals being allowed or disallowed? They made a mistake in St. Louis 2 nights ago with San Jose. Solani turned his skate blade, the puck glanced off and went in. You're allowed to do that. And they said no goal there. I think if they're in Toronto and they're watching these games and they can overrule to get it right, why don't they do that?
What about it's been suggested by some of the judges. The video judges say that's a good idea.
What about the transmission problem, though? You always run the risk.
They can't even phone from upstairs. How can they phone from Toronto?
Yeah.
But it's a backup. I know sometimes you get snow on the satellite dishes. They can't get reception and stuff like that. But at least you'd have a better chance of having it right.
Eric, you want to chime in on this? The only other question I have is more cameras in the nets with all these point-of-view cameras.
That's been suggested, too.
Yeah, I just think that they should spend $500,000 for the playoffs. And
there you go. That's the key right there, Ron. They don't want to spend it. You put 2 video cameras in the corner there, the net cams, would solve a lot of your problems. An awful lot.
Eric, did you want in on that at all?
No, that's all right, Ron.
You know what? There's going to be a conference this summer, though, Ronnie, in Toronto or Chicago, wherever it is, to bring all the video replay people in and go over different areas.
How about Tom Hicks and Dallas and spending?
Well, you know what? The Dallas Stars are one of the 3 teams in the top 6 of the NHL in terms of payroll that missed the playoffs this year. So you would think that the lesson that they learned, which was to throw money indiscriminately at free agents, would have sunk in this year. But the message that I'm getting is that they are going to be at the front of the line for all of the key guys, including Curtis Joseph, Tony Amonte, Bill Guerin, that they will not be outbid for any of these guys. And the days of Eddie Belfour as the Dallas' #1 goaltender are absolutely finished. I mean, Belfour faltered down the stretch. They decided they made the commitment to go with him this year because they felt they owed it to him because of what he's meant to the organization in the past, but now they're moving ahead.
Well, we've been saying that all along. I think the changes will probably go further than this talk. Well, certainly Guy Carbonneau will be in there as the coach, and there's already talk as well that they make another GM change, even though Armstrong hasn't been there that long. The story around the NHL is that all those changes that were made last summer that Bob Gainey fell on the sword for and said they didn't work out were really orchestrated by Hitchcock and Armstrong. You know, the bringing in of guys like Turgeon. I can't see Bob Gainey bringing in Turgeon and DeMaio and all these other people. It did not work, and so Hicks, you know, is a pretty demanding guy. He likes to win. I wouldn't be surprised if more changes than just Belfour.
But would you have said the same about Brett Hull? I mean, Turgeon, to me, was in that same mold and did a fantastic job for Dallas.
I think that was
the person that was missing there.
Brett Hull's a different kind of personality, though. And Brett Hull, you know, did a lot to help that team stay loose in the inimitable Brett Hull.
That was you know what, Ron? That was a miscalculation, and the fact is they lost out on the 2 guys that they had targeted, Roenick and Leclerc, so they had to go with what was left. And I think this year they're going to ensure that they're not second in the bidding. They're going to make sure that they're at the top of the list.
Al, what about your Colin Campbell rumor? Go, sorry,
well,
John.
that's the one. Yeah, the story is that Coley's going to wind up in Florida. That's a very demanding job there, you know, working as the guy who runs the punishment. So they're saying he may end up in Florida working with, and he gets along very well with Mike Keenan. So
I'll tell you what, Coley should stay. I mean, the league better make sure they do their best to keep him with the league because he does a terrific job. Kevin Dineen, I think, retired after last night's game. An overtime win by Columbus. He did score a goal in that game. He was a terrific competitor all those years. And I think congratulations to the Ottawa Senators for the way they've treated Roger Nielsen, allowing him to coach the 2 games.
Hey, good show. Right. Eric, got to mention your Colorado story real quick.
Only that a lot of people have talked about Peter Forsberg and when he might be back, but of more concern is Milan Hajduk, who has a torn groin muscle, hasn't been taking contact yet. I suspect that Forsberg will be back before Hajduk, and Hajduk is going to be in a situation where he's not going to be the same player that we normally see because he's going to be needing operation this summer to get that fixed.
Thanks to Eric DeHatchett, John Davidson, and Al Strachan on the Satellite Hot Stove.
Satellite Hot Stove, brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
This riveting game of croquet didn't start with a review of the formal rules, or even the creative placement of the wickets. No, it began just a bit earlier at Canadian Tire, when someone showed a distinct interest in the game.
She's a natural. Yeah, she is.
Or at least the game pieces. Funny how where you end up has a lot to do with where you start. Canadian Tire.
They'll have their work cut out for them.
Welcome to homicide.
Mind against mind.
We're dealing with a secondary crime scene.
They're playing a game that she can't lose. Murder by Numbers.
Starts Friday, April 19th.
Last year, taxpayers received an average refund of $715. Did you get all you deserve? Now H&R Block will double-check last year's return free. We can file an adjustment. You could get more money back.
Well, you walk around your corner, girl, come on back and don't pass over the corner, left of the corner, right now slip the clock's left out of Malin, come on back, right 11 grand.
Take the woman on your right, link your arms, spin to the right. Very nice.
A Clarica agent can make sense of almost anything, especially your investments and insurance. Clarica.
So that's the service bay. This is the customer waiting area. And that is the posting board.
Okay.
Your first job is to go through these.
Boy, they work us like dogs around here, don't they?
And cut out the competition's ads.
That's good thinking because you don't want people reading.
And you post them up there.
That's really dumb.
Well, that way our customers don't have to go all over town to compare prices. They can see that we offer great deals right here.
It's going to be awfully tough to compete with an offer like this.
And that's one of ours.
That's why you're in management. And, you know, I'm not.
For all your car needs, Fountain Tire, home of the tire experts, and a whole lot more.
151 countries, one ride. Canadian Club.
All fans in Calgary and many in Canada hoping the heart goes out to Jerome Aginla. Vancouver-Calgary coming up, and for sure it can be said all of Canada and all of the National Hockey League seeing a heart go out to Roger Nielsen tonight as the Sens are in tough against Toronto. We'll have third period action at the Corral Centre in a moment.
The way that you walk, it's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing, and every single day is just a blink.
Try the new Chocolate Extreme Blizzard Treat from DQ. The only place to dare mix sweet cocoa fudge, rich chocolate chunks, and moist brownie pieces with creamy DQ soft serve. Got a thing for chocolate? DQ's something different.
Saving money is hard work, and people who do this deserve respect. Do they get it? No. Most banks pay almost no interest and shrink your savings through something called nickel and diming. ING Direct is not most banks. We have no branches. The money we save, we pass on to you as high interest on savings, low interest on loans and mortgages, and better service. Call and save your money. It's not hard work.
How long will your car live? That depends on the proper maintenance of your car's vital fluids. Engine oil, radiator, transmission, even washer fluid. you can depend on the fluid experts at Mr. Lube.
Any more coffee, Mr. Fluid Expert?
Get ready for hot weather driving with an oil change and fluid maintenance from the fluid experts at Mr. Lube. Mr. Lube, doing it right before your eyes.
Could use some new paint.
Yeah, I can do that.
How about rust? No, a pure red with a faux finish. Ooh, and that dry brush technique. Maybe a honey undertone.
How do I do that? It's easy. Let's start over here. You know, she said something about dry brush. That's dragging. And actually, there's a seminar tomorrow. Why don't you come out?
And you're gonna drag, and you're gonna weave. You've got it now. That's great. It's beautiful.
It was easy.
Hockey Night in Canada is brought to you by Home Depot, striking a blow for lower home improvement costs.
Third period now with Toronto shorthanded for 58 seconds from now. As they drop the puck at center ice and the Leafs go back to pick it up. Green is a man in the penalty box. He went off for elbowing at the 19-minute mark of period 2. Bach gets the puck out front, back to the blue line. It comes, Alfredson takes it. Delivers the pass to Phillips. His shot is wide. Is centered. Barrasso stopped the pass out. Behind the net, they fight for it. Carberlet chasing Arvidsson. Back to the blue line again, and here's Alfredson. Once more covered. Quick pass. Phillips' shot. And stopped by Barrasso, and he will hang on to this. No rebound. Brune got Ottawa on the board on a power play at 12:58, his 9th of the season from White and Alfredson. Renberg on a Leaf power play. A little bit later, at 14:52, he was all alone in front of the net and scored on the setup from Hoagland and Sundin.
That's Sundin, the only player with 2 points. That gives him 78 on the season, 40 of them goals. Lead the Leafs in almost every offensive category.
The game moves along in Boston too. Boston away ahead of Pittsburgh. And they will end up in first place after tonight, which means the Maple Leafs will be fourth in the conference. Toronto will open their playoffs on Thursday in Toronto. Alfredson moves up. Gets a quick shot on Barrasso. He's been steady as a rock.
Well, Pat Quinn will have 3 healthy goaltenders for the playoffs. Barrasso looked sharp tonight. Joseph looked sharp last night, and Schwab has looked sharp for 2 months. Who will get the start and who will be the backup, only Mr. Quinn knows. But the way the 3 are playing, it's one of those delightful coaching decisions where no matter who you choose, you're probably right. But I think Joseph will start. Sure, if he can stay healthy for the rest of the week.
Told me today that he felt good last night in Pittsburgh. He made 27 saves, as we mentioned earlier, in the 5-2 Toronto win over Pittsburgh. And felt okay. His conditioning, well, of course, not 100%, but very close to it. He was surprised, he said, going down often, getting back up. Did not feel all that tired. Look at that lead pass. It's called in the offside, and Buffalo is in Montreal tonight. Ron reporting on that game.
Bob, thanks a lot. 1-0 on an Eric Rasmussen goal. Here's the second for the Buffalo Sabres. Chris Gratton with the pickoff here. He's a little too tall for that clearing pass. Right to Miro Shatan, who pots his 37th of the year early in the third period. It's 2-0 Sabres.
Cave scoring the first goal of this game in period number 1 on a Leaf power play. And that was one of Sundin's 2 assists in the hockey game. Vilash got his first goal rather, at 16:21 of the first period. His first ever. Coming up from St. John's and playing well with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now the Leafs attacking. Shot whistled off the glass, will ricochet all the way back down the ice to Tom Barrasso. He left the net because Arvidsson is the man coming up. Here's McCall looking for a goal. And stopped by Barrasso. Paul takes the puck again. And has the crowd buzzing. He hasn't got a goal this season. Long shot. And that's deflected wide of the net. Called for him looking for it, but it was deflected over the glass. Now came back down.
McCall's running out of time if he's trying to get that first goal of the season. He's had a couple of opportunities and has not been able to cash in. He's played 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And there's a good chance. The Toronto Maple Leafs have two players. Corson has not been back since he took 17 minutes in penalties for that in that fight in the first period. And Aki Berg has played 2 minutes in the second period and is not on the bench. So the Leafs have got two players that appear to be hurt. We're trying to find out what's wrong with them. And we'll give you the information if and when we do.
10 seconds short of the 2-minute mark in the third period. Toronto 3, Ottawa 1. Leafs get the puck across the line. Haberle fan on it, trying to shoot it down the ice. Lonan trapped him. Comes up looking for it. Neal pushed off the puck, got a stick down on it somehow. Haberle chased by Neal. Got a quick pass away to McCauley. He moves up. Down it goes to Wenberg. Back to McCauley. And he's grabbed from behind. Clean check goal. Stop him from getting a scoring chance. And the lead covers.
No penalty on the call. McCauley that looked like he might have been able to spring himself into the clear and was...
Had a stick kind of lifted from behind.
Well, the Ottawa Senators have had absolutely no luck to speak of in the playoffs. They've made it 6 years in a row, but they've got to the second round once in the last 5 years and have gone out in a hurry. The last 2 years to Toronto, Jacques Martin feels his team is much better equipped for playoff-type hockey than they were last year, and that is the burning question here in Ottawa.
Berg or Corson will not be back, we are told, but we don't have any report as to why. We assume that they're injured, and it's not a serious injury. Berg and Corson will not return.
For Pat Quinn, he puts the lid on injury information in the playoffs, and he started today with it.
I would say that's normal. Called after the puck again. He's getting plenty of ice time now for Ottawa. They would love to see him get a goal, of course. On the puck at center. Rips it in. Comes up slowly because Bonk was in ahead of him. Now the puck is high out front of the net, and the Leafs are going to get a chance to move it out. Long pass gets down to center ice, and Healy had to back it up. 3-1 Toronto. Called. Intercepted that second pass. Chara has to come back. Ian Phillips are the defenseman for Ottawa. Paul gives it to Phillips. He got the pass ahead. Down as far as the Toronto line. That's where it stopped again. McCauley is all tied up. The Leafs are changing. And Belak lifted the puck back into his defenseman. Haberle's pass tipped down at center. No ice in there for a decision. Had to hurry back. He did that, but didn't make a clean pass. However, it's Salo getting the puck across center ice. Ottawa gets it in, and it's kept in at the line. Albertson gets a chance, and he ripped the shot wide. He had good movement on it, and had Barrasso to the short side, but missed the net. Nearing 4 minutes of play in the third period. Still a 2-goal lead by the Maple Leafs over the Sens. 3-1. Shots 22-18, Ottawa. Lead pass to Belak. Didn't hang on to it. Salo fed it back. Shot to center ice and dumped into the zone. Up comes Ylonen. Didn't find it in time. Green lost it. Hall right in scores! Jody Hall stole it from Green. And we have a ball game going again as the crowd is on its feet. Roger Nielsen is closer to getting a win in his 1,000th NHL game. Toronto now leading 3-2.
23rd shot of the game for Ottawa. They only had 4 in the first period. The Leafs in good control. Green tries the cross-ice pass. It doesn't get to McCabe. Picked off by Hull. And he walks in and makes a nifty move on Barrasso, who beat the Leaf goalie between the legs and make it 3-2. Jody Hull scores his second goal of the season in this his 24th game after not playing for the first part of the year, practicing with Peterborough in the Junior League.
Ball gets a goal, taking advantage of that giveaway by Green in the league zone. And it's 3-2 now. 4:19 the time of the goal. It was unassisted, of course. Green tries a shot. That's blocked by Ottawa. There's going to be a penalty called against the Ottawa Senators as they were about to clear. We'll be back with that penalty in a moment.
Maybe we should wallpaper.
Yeah, I'll get swatches. You look frazzled. I'll get out of your hair.
Chicken lovers are finding any excuse to get to McDonald's right now for our new Chicken Select Strips. An exciting new taste at McDonald's for a limited time. Tender, juicy pieces of all-white seasoned chicken breast served with your choice of plum or spicy hot sauce.
Honey, do we have a
trombone? No, I'll go buy one.
Jody Hall gets a goal and now gets a penalty.
Look at the left of your screen coming in right here as he hauls the Leaf forward down, going to the net after Lalim had made the save.
So 3-2 Toronto on the power play again. They're successful on their power play earlier tonight, scoring 2 goals with the advantage. Cave got one, Renberg got the other. So 3-2 Maple Leafs. We've hit the 5-minute mark of the third period, and now Toronto moves up, led by Sundin. Good move at the line. Stick handling in, gets it back to Copperley. There's a shot. That's wide of the net. Copperley again, stopping it along the boards. Kerperger on him, trying to fight the puck away, and does get it out, lifting a little one down across center. Brune couldn't catch up to it. And Cave turns. Out he comes. Pass goes to center. They get the line with Renberg along the boards and squeezing in there. Centered, and Ottawa will clear it off the boards and out. They want an attack. It'll be Phillips bringing it in, dropped it back. A long shot by Yolomic is wide of the net. Toronto will take its time, turning it back up. The rest of the goalie in on it. Copperley waves, he's gone to the bench. It's knifed into the Ottawa zone. Charles first, eluding Tucker's hit. Toronto on the puck in their goal, and McCabe winds up, take the shot, delivers the pass. Outside the Maple Leafs, Tucker passes it around. In front, McGillney fanned on it. McGillney gets it back to McCabe. McGillney is open. McCabe goes the other way. Back along the boards. Now McCabe again. Shoved it up the net. That's easily picked off by Phillips. Albertson is there. Tried to shoot it in behind his own net, but Phillips held it. And Chara moves away. He was held up. Ottawa gets it to the line and out. McCabe couldn't keep it in. Barely out, and offside is the call.
Well, McCabe, as I've mentioned a couple of times, I think the most improved defenseman in the National Hockey League over the last 2 years. And since being teamed up with Copperley, they have really done a nice job. 27 goals between them. And 89-90 was the last time the Leafs had a pair of defensemen who scored anywhere near at that rate.
Toronto leads Ottawa 3-2. 6:24 gone in the third period. Scramble after the faceoff. Pilash gets it over there for McGillney. Shot it in. Ottawa break it up. 90 feeds it back to center where Lume stopped it. Toronto line up the blue line, now move in. Tucker lost control. Lume gets it again. Trying to feed it up for Tucker, but it's intercepted and cleared back to center. Pilash has it. He has to wait. Now they're onside, and Lume will bring it in. Lume gets it back from McGillney. Centering pass. Shot stopped by Laline. In the rebound, but he covers this time before there is any damage. 3-2. Toronto leads Ottawa. 12:58 left in the third.
This is a bed. This is a box seat at the game. This is the best seat at your favorite restaurant. And occasionally, convince the bank to tip the pizza guy.
Versatility of a Chevrolet Venture, your family will not only do more together, they'll do it more easily. Drive away without paying. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first payment. Chevrolet Venture.
My dad's gonna build us the coolest treehouse.
I don't have a clue what I'm doing here.
Well, let's see what you got. Oh, wow, a treehouse.
He can build anything.
Never built anything before.
Relax, I think you're in the right spot.
He wants a trap door.
Balcony, rope swing.
I'm going to suggest 16 penny.
You can do it.
You sure I can do this?
He's a genius.
Trust me. All right.
Dad?
Yeah?
Thanks.
.58 left in the third period. Vancouver and Calgary is our second game tonight. Vancouver in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and what a run they had over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Great move by Vancouver Canucks.
They had the second best record in the National League since the new year.
And the city is very excited, and well, they should be. Good for a while, but it looks terrific today. 12:30 left in the third period in this one. Puck is shot in wide of the Maple Leaf net. Into the crowd now, lifted over the glass. Roger Nielsen in his 1,000th NHL game tonight. He started with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Here's the first practice. Oh, I don't know why they're practicing on June the 28th. Roger, I told him when he started coaching, never skate your fastest, because if the team ever watches you skate, they're not going to listen to one word you've got to say. Roger was a pretty good goaltender, you know, played junior B hockey in the Toronto area growing up. Woodbridge Dodgers. Roger Nielsen, the goalie. And they had a pretty good junior B team then.
Alfredson made that play, gets it in close. Turning near the net was Brunet. He has scored 1 goal for Ottawa in this game tonight. 3-2 is the score now. Toronto leads. Now we've played 8 minutes of the third period. Sanders bring it back out. Out through center. They're having their best period now. Brunet drops it back. Brunet gets in front. And a stick tied up. And it was cleared back to center ice by the Maple Leafs. They do get it in deep, and they want to make changes. That is being done as Phillips brings it over center and lifts it into the Toronto zone. Cade behind the net. Took a solid hit when he made that play. He was hit by Neal. Cade saw a cross open. He moved it ahead. Sundin had his pass intercepted. McCabe looking good, coming in on this rush. Gets set to make the shot. It was blocked. Ottawa the other way. Ylonen drips one in there. Brasso, a little shaky on that one, mind you, but off his stick and wide of the net. Quite make a move he wanted on it. Leafs bring it back in. Around the goal is Pearson. Shot it to the boards. Pearson again. Gets it through the opening, out and down the ice, wide of the net. So, it's an icing call against Ottawa with 10:43 left.
On June the 19th, in Toronto at the Western Harbor Castle, an evening with Roger Nielsen. This is his friends organizing this. There's the ticket information below. And he's going to get a great turnout. I'm having the pleasure of being one of the MCs. And an evening with Roger. You know, I remember in Toronto growing up, an evening with Harry Belafonte, an evening with Frank Sinatra, an evening with Liberace. This guy's in pretty good company. An evening with Roger Nielsen. It'll be well attended and lots of fun.
McCulloch delivers that lead pass. Arvidsson, and he's stopped by Tamarasso. Ottawa keep it in for him. Knifed wide of the net by Arvidsson. 2 big chances passes for him to tie the game. Leafs get the puck out. Caught. Tapped it away at center ice. Lume will be the first one back for Toronto. And he touches it. That's another icing call against Ottawa.
Well, the Ottawa Senators have had lots of chances to pull into a tie for this game, and the last one was won by Arvidsson. The face-off in the Toronto zone. The shot blocked, and away goes McCult to Arvidsson, who walks in all alone. Pilas can't catch him, and a good stop by Barrasso, who after a first period of not much work has really been quite sharp in the Toronto net. Arvidsson looks up, knows what he wants to do, tries to go between the legs, I think, of Barrasso. No opening.
24th save of the night for Tom Barrasso. Arvidsson getting 2 chances on that last shift to tie it. Maple Leafs now inside the Ottawa line. Fight for it along the boards. Squirts by everybody and out, and Carmelet played it back. Lifted back into the zone. Aleem reaching for that. Knocked it down okay. And Ottawa will get the puck out. 3 of them come to center ice. Down that left side, the defenseman decision. Bumped along the boards. Couldn't go after it. It's kept in there, though, by Brunet. Comes over looking for it in the corner. McCabe has his man covered. Todd White. Alfredson wrestles loose around the net. Tries to come out front. Hard work by Alfredson. What a pass. And White couldn't capitalize as he was open. Didn't quite handle it. Leaning off the heel of his stick. But big work by Alfredson. Now McCabe wants to change, so toss it over the line. Adoni can't get the shot and pulled it back to shoot it. And had it poke checked away. But Sundin is up. Right in. Scores! That's Sundin charging in from the short side. And drills it by Lalime. And Toronto is ahead again by a 4-2 count.
Matt Sundin scores his 41st goal of the season with 9:03 to go to give the Leafs another 2-goal lead. He is 7th in the NHL in the point race, and he is 3rd in goals. And here is his 41st as he gets just enough on it to get it through Lalime. After Alfredson is stripped of the puck, Sundin walks out from the corner and puts it in.
Charge to the net hard. It did match Sundin. And put it by Patrick Lalime on the short side. 4-2 now. Toronto has that 2-goal lead back again. That's another unassisted goal in the game. Sundin's 41st of the season. So he's got a goal and 2 assists in this hockey game. Again, leading his team. It's an icing call against Ottawa with 8:36 left to play in the 3rd period. Sundin's goal makes it 4-2 Toronto.
Olay Complete Body Wash leaves you with no film, no residue, just soft, smooth skin. It's an ideal combination of soap-free cleansers and aerated moisture that rinses clean, so nothing comes between your skin and your world but the lightly moisturized feeling of clean. Olay Body Wash. Love the skin you're in. And for extra dry skin, now there's new Olay Complete Dry Skin Formula.
Hey, officer! I drove away without paying!
Yeah.
I drove away without paying.
That's nice.
Hey! I drove away without paying!
Can't wait till this thing is over.
Same here.
Now you can drive away without paying at your GM dealers with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and 0 first lease payment on more vehicles than ever.
Hey, officer! I drove away without paying!
The Drive Away Without Paying event at your GM dealers.
Coffee's ready. Can I rotate the transmission now?
No.
Flush the tires?
What? No.
Come on.
Look, you're new and eager, and that's good, but I'll take care of this.
But you're the owner.
So?
Shouldn't you be out there working on the old golf swing?
Well, no, I like working on cars. We all do. That way the customer gets the best service possible.
Well, must be something I can do.
For all your car needs, Fountain Tire, home of the tire experts, and a whole lot more.
Oh, so this is a coffee filter.
Men's World Curling Championship Finals live on CBC Sports, starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on CBC.
8:35 remaining in the third period here in Ottawa. It is a 4-2 Toronto lead. Sundin just making it a 2-goal spread. Sundin scoring unassisted at 10:57. His 41st of the season. He has 2 assists to go with that goal tonight. 4-2. Toronto leads. 8:10 left. Maple Leafs on the attack again. McCauley nearly had a chance to shoot it. Now he might. Passes back instead. There's the shot. Gloved by Lalime. And he will hold that with 8:02 left. The shots 25-21 in favor of Ottawa.
Here's what's gone on tonight. The 100th NHL game by head coach Roger Nielsen. He last scores his first 1,000. Sorry, one of those zeros fell off when I wasn't looking. Sundin 3 points. That puts him in 4th place. We're tied for 4th with Joe Sakic in the NHL scoring race. And it puts him in 3rd place in goals. So what a year for Mr. Sundin, the captain of the Leafs, the captain of the All-Star team, and the captain of Team Sweden in the Olympics.
Running down on Ottawa tonight. Puck is shot behind the net again. Leafs pass it out front. Nobody open out there. And Ottawa will skate it away. Pass goes down the left side. Decision brings it in. He tried a shot. Alfredson tried a shot. That is blocked. And held in on the boards. Cave can't kick it loose. Comes loose anyway. And McGillney just plays it back down the ice. Knifed away by Sal. Alfredson again from center wants to change. So he just dumps the puck in. Ottawa makes its change now with 7:18 left to play in the third. Toronto leads 4-2. Down through center is Tucker. Can't get too far with it. Stopped inside the line by Herberger. And Ottawa bring it back in. Arvidsson has had some decent chances to score in this game. On the puck, worked it back to the blue line. Parra's shot is blocked. Tucker feeds it by him down the ice, and it's going to be called icing as it makes the goal line. And Phillips was back. Saturday night doubleheader once again. Our game 2 tonight will be Vancouver and Calgary hooking up in Calgary. That's right after this game.
Jacques Martin, who very willingly and with some enthusiasm gave up the last 2 games of the season as a head coach to give Roger a chance for his milestone performance. And Ottawa, like Toronto, New Jersey, and the island, have no idea for sure who they're going to play in round 1 of the playoffs that start Wednesday night.
Carmelet has the puck in the zone. Allowed to skate away with it. Down at the blue line, and McCauley tried to wait, but Leafs are offside. Domi was inside.
Well, Pat Quinn, who's enjoyed a great year, his team looks like they're going to get 2 more points, which will give them 100 for the season if they can hang on for 6.5 minutes. Of course, the gold medal in the Olympics. And if he can get his team back healthy, who knows how far they'll go in the playoffs. And the same thing with Ottawa, who's got some real fine players not in the lineup tonight. They could finish 5th, 6th, or 7th.
6:35 to play in the third period. Toronto leads by 2. In a scoring play, Sundin unassisted. Hull scored unassisted at 4:19, giving Ottawa a life. They were down 1 goal then until Sundin took over and stole it in the zone and scored at 10:57. Leafs move it up across the line. Pass comes to Carmelet, the defenseman. In on Chara. Leafs keep it in behind the net. Carmelet skates out in front with Domi. Toronto on it, winning that little battle behind the goal. Pinash feeding the puck ahead. Redberg comes in, but Chara steps up in front of him and throws it up to Hull. Gets to center. Up to the leaf line before he shoots it right on. Barrasso, the glove save. Toronto doesn't clear it. 90 shot. Off the goalie, right to Pilash, and he wants to skate with it. Goes with the pass. Gets it down across center. And it's broken up, and the Sens just blasted back in for Barrasso to lead the net. Bonk is the forechecker. He went off balance, and Sundin took the puck and right away gave it to Hogan. Down the wing. Healy tries to come in, drops it back to Sundin. Centering pass. Lane stopped Hogan in close. McCall takes him around the net. Coming away. Got it down. Rob the net again off the boards, and Ottawa having a tough time clearing it. Now they get it out, and Arvidsson has to wait right there. A dead stop, he moves it up. Gave the puck away inside the line. Sundin steals more time by coming back. 4:40 left in the third. Sundin looking sharp, skating away with it. Tossed it in off the boards and then heads off to the Leaf bench. They change quickly now. Tucker centered it. Trying to wrap around. It's in the goal. Tucker is going to get it and have to get it. He tried to wrap around, and it stayed there near the post somewhere. We couldn't see it from here, and obviously Lalime could not either. It's a goal. 5-2 Toronto.
Darcy Tucker has been as hot as a firecracker lately. Here's how he scored to put this game pretty well on ice for the Leafs. On the wraparound, and you can't see, there it is. The puck just squirts under the left pad of Lalime. This maybe gives you a better look. Yes, it does. You can see it gets between the legs of Lalime and rolls in for Tucker. That is 12 points in the last 12 games, 6 of them goals.
24th of the season. Good year for Darcy Tucker.
Career high for goals for Mr. Tucker.
That makes it 5-2. The Leafs won in Pittsburgh 5-2 last night with Curtis Joseph in goal and stopping 27 for the win.
Have another look at it here. These are the kind of goals that goaltenders ought not to let in. Lalime had his skate against the post, but didn't get the paddle of his goal stick down in time. And the puck trickled between his legs and just got over the line.
Healy got 1 assist. And that was the only one on the goal by Tucker. For 24 in the season, as we say, that's a career high for Darcy Tucker. Time of the goal is 15:35. It's the 5th of the night for the Maple Leafs. And only 4 minutes left. Leafs cover in front of Barrasso and get the puck out and down the ice. Precision and Sell. Albertson had his bounce over his stick. Toronto backs up. Carmela. Quick passing gets the Maple Leafs out to center. And the puck is lifted in from Podkorowski. He falls on that late hit in the corner. Gets back up though and looks for the puck. Does get a stick on it, got it back to Lume. Beats it into McCauley. Trying to stop. Lalime falls this time and makes sure he smothers the puck. 3:27 remaining in the third.
At GM Good Wrench Service, we know you have better things to do than spend your time in a garage.
Mr. Thompson. Your car's ready. Oh, thanks.
Come in now for our spring maintenance package featuring a lube, oil, and filter, 15-point inspection, tire rotation, brake inspection, and more for just $49.95. Your GM vehicle was made for Good Wrench Service. Right on time.
This room could use some new paint.
Yeah, I can do that.
How about rust? No, a pure red with a faux finish. Ooh, and that dry brush technique. Maybe a honey undertone.
How do I do that? It's easy. Let's start over here. She said something about dry brush. It's dragging. And actually, there's a seminar tomorrow. Why don't you come out?
And you're gonna drag, and you're gonna weave. You've got it now, that's great. It's beautiful.
It was easy.
Hockey Night in Canada is brought to you by Home Depot, striking a blow for lower home improvement costs.
At a moment like this, you don't want to depend on bargain brake parts. So have your brakes checked every year and ask for premium quality Raybestos brand brakes. They're tested and certified for your safety. A life-saving reminder from Raybestos, the best in brakes.
Boston will take over first place tonight with a victory over Pittsburgh. That game almost done. Boston away ahead in the game. Toronto here leading 5-2 with 3:15 left to play in the third period. And they move up on Ottawa again. Ponikarovsky couldn't get a shot away against Knighty. Sens get it back out, and Lume waits. Everybody's back on side, so he played it ahead. Belak shoved it over the line. Ponikarovsky comes up attacking. It's lifted over the boards at the Ottawa bench, stopping the play. Well, we have news from Washington. And here's Ron.
Bob, thank you. New Jersey has defeated the Capitals. Second time in a week. Scott Niedermayer's the overtime hero. So the Devils, with this 4-3 win against the Caps, leapfrog into 5th place in the East. As it stands now, they meet Toronto. Ottawa, assuming all holds here at the Corral Center, will finish 7th now, and they will face the Philadelphia Flyers in the first round, it appears. Toronto will either meet the Devils or the Islanders, with the Isles having a date with Philadelphia tomorrow to determine that.
Thanks, Ron. And that game is in Long Island.
And it's a nothing game for Philadelphia.
It's a big game for New York. New York Islanders, terrific year. Lane slipped and fell, but no damage was done. Alfredson swings away to center ice. Pass is chopped in from center by Brunet. Toronto just got it back out. 2:30 left. 5-2 Toronto lead. Latest scoring play was Tucker from Healy. 15:35, a wraparound. High shot to the glass. Ottawa move up on it. Yolonen. Pass to Hull. Put on the brakes and made a good move along the boards to Gwindy. Shot around the boards. Stopped at the line by Knighty, and he lost it. Got by him out and down the ice. Back in. That's an icing call against Ottawa. We have 1:54 left to play in the third period.
Well, Pat Quinn has guided his Toronto Maple Leafs to a 100-point season. 1 point behind the Boston Bruins for number 1 in the Eastern Conference and number 1 in the Northeast Division. And the Maple Leafs are hoping they can get healthy. Berg and Corson have not played since the second period. Corson since late in the first. We don't know what's wrong with them. Roberts, Yuskevich, and Reichel should be ready, although Yuskevich is dealt for the first playoff game.
1:45 remaining. Shots are 28-25 in favor of Ottawa. Amborasso in goal for the Maple Leafs tonight. 26 saves on the evening. Knighty has to come back in his own zone. That he does. Belak is behind him. Coming away from Belak. Then was hit by Belak. Sins get the puck out to center ice. Then Knighty took the Maple Leaf player down hard inside the blue line. Ponikarovsky seems to be okay, getting back to his feet rather slowly.
This is Ponikarovsky's 4th game in 4 nights. He played the 2 games to win the 2 out of 3 series for the St. John Maple Leafs against Providence. Played last night in Pittsburgh. Plays here tonight. And St. John's opened their next round of the playoffs in Lowell tomorrow night. So if they send him down, he's going to play 5 nights in a row. And there is the slew foot by Knighty.
Belak is in the penalty box, and an Ottawa player is in there also.
I didn't see Belak's penalty, but Knighty's was pretty obvious.
The penalties to Toronto's number 2,
90 is the other guy in the penalty box. 90 and Belak. 90 for tripping, Belak elbowing. At 18:46. Play stopped again in the Maple Leaf zone as it was shot in from center ice.
Well, Roger coaching his 1,000th game here, trying to win his 461st. He's going to come up a little short in that department. Equally important as far as anybody who's Roger's friend is, he looks better now than he's looked at any other time that I've seen him this season, especially early in the season. So coming back and being the head coach for 2 games has been a tonic for his health problem. He's had a gallant battle in that area as well.
Ottawa, the puck to the center ice here with a minute left. Also watching this shot go wide of the net. Hull tried one from a difficult angle. Ripperger comes up looking for it, so does Hull. Ripperger will get it, but then he's pinned by Cross. 2 of them on the boards. The puck frozen along the boards. Domi knocked it loose. And Hull nearly moved on it, but Domi takes it. 35 seconds left. Domi wants to go. Fired a hard pass in. Comes in. Shot gloved by Lalime. A good rush by Tucker and Domi. We're down to 30 seconds left to play in the third period. Toronto now with a win in this game. They're in 4th place in the Eastern Conference. We'll wait till tomorrow. Boston is first. We know that now. But the Islanders are playing tomorrow against Philadelphia. It'll be either Toronto, the New York Islanders, or
the New Jersey Devils.
You're right.
The Islanders, they'll either play Toronto or Carolina, depending on the outcome of tomorrow's game.
Devils won their game. Niedermeyer scored in overtime, as Ron just reported for us. So it'll be the Devils and the Maple Leafs on Thursday to open up the Stanley Cup playoffs for these 2, or see what happens tomorrow with the Islanders against Philadelphia.
And that is the opponent for Ottawa in round 1, Philadelphia.
6 seconds left. So Mr. Nielsen's night ends in an Ottawa loss and a Maple Leaf victory in the last game of the regular season for these 2 teams. Toronto finishes 4th. That we know out of this action on this 5-2 Toronto win over Ottawa tonight.
Live on CBC from coast to coast, it's Hockey Night in Canada. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
LGD, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Labatt Genuine Draft. You can bring home the great draft taste at a new low price.
Take all the time you want, folks.
We'll take this one in red. Beautiful choice, sir. No, black.
Black. That's actually my favorite color.
Red. Definitely red.
When software solutions quickly connect you with your customers, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
They tested the Subaru Forester. They tested the Subaru Legacy. Now the Subaru Impreza. It's official. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety has given every Subaru they tested their highest possible rating. So would the world be a safer place if everyone drove an all-wheel drive Subaru? It couldn't hurt. Subaru, that's the beauty of all-wheel drive.
This is so exciting, isn't it? Yeah. You know, I got this trip with Air Miles. Air Miles, good. Yeah. You know, Fountain Tire is a great place to collect Air Miles. Fountain Tire sells Goodyear, #1 in tires. I don't know why anyone would shop anywhere else. Right. Well, it's going to be exciting talking to you guys all the way to Hawaii. Hawaii.
For all your car needs, Fountain Tire, home of the tire experts, and a whole lot more.
So gate 31A was Hawaii, and gate 31B was Winnipeg. Going to Winnipeg.
Back on Hockey Night in Canada with the 4-3 stars of our two telecasts tonight at the Molson Centre and the Corral Centre here in Ottawa. Let's begin at Ottawa, where Matt Sundin knots his 41st goal of the year along with 2 assists. Darcy Tucker's rolling into the playoffs, 13 points in his last 7, including a goal and a helper tonight in Daniel Alfredson. And the 4-3 stars at Montreal, Marty Biron, 22 saves for the shutout, Miroslav Shatan, and Richard Zednik, the best of the Montreal Canadiens. So the Habs will finish 8th despite the loss tonight and face the Boston Bruins as Buffalo wins it by a score of 3-0 with an empty netter to Pyatt. And here at the Corral Centre in Ottawa, Ottawa will face Philadelphia, and Toronto will face New Jersey unless the Islanders win tomorrow. 5-2 more in a moment.
Ford Focus ZTW, engineered in Europe. Exceptional handling for exceptional moments.
Maybe we should wallpaper.
Yeah, I'll get swatches. You look frazzled. I'll get out of your hair.
Chicken lovers are finding any excuse to get to McDonald's right now for our new Chicken Select Strips. An exciting new taste at McDonald's for a limited time. Tender, juicy pieces of all-white seasoned chicken breast served with your choice of plum or spicy hot sauce.
Honey, do we have a
trombone? No, I'll go buy one.
Never look both ways, which brings us to the safety triangle, the interconnected parts that enable you to stop, steer, and maintain stability. Ask your mechanic for a safety triangle inspection and quality replacement parts like Monroe shocks and struts. Save up to $75 off safety triangle parts or service when you buy Monroe Reflex or Sensatrack shocks or struts.
What makes the Mazda B-Series truck a bestseller?
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. It looks great in white. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Green. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Blue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And several shades of brown. Yeah, 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 zoom. The Mazda B-Series truck. Always in season.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Please, don't. Back, there's a look at the beautiful Stampede City, crossroads of the West, where tonight the Vancouver Canucks close out against the Calgary Flames.
Toronto just oozing confidence. There's Rogers shaking hands with everybody, eh?
Oh, good. Ty will show his goal in a bit.
Yeah.
Make him happy, too.
Toronto's going off the ice. Here's a big thing, too, that they have sweater going on, but I like the way they do it in Boston. That's good, though. But I like the way they do it in Boston, is that they take the sweaters off the game worn that night and put them on, which I think is a lot. I mean, wouldn't you people rather have a game worn sweater? I know I would.
Absolutely. I don't know.
All the sweat and stuff.
Yeah. It had anything to do with the autograph already being prearranged or something?
I don't like that. Anyhow, it's a good idea for Canadians. They're doing it here in Ottawa. Something to think about for maybe junior clubs and stuff like that.
It was sure tough on Edmonton to do it last night, though. That's a one-time.
Oh, I felt so sorry for them. They stood there. But I tell you, when you watch Toronto tonight, are they oozing confidence? And the big thing they've got to do in their game, the first game of the playoffs, they put in a couple of goals and they keep that confidence going. Boy, they're going to be something. Barrasso looked good tonight. I don't understand Lalime playing. I don't understand that. Now he goes into the playoffs with a negative output. Theodore, I don't know why they played Theodore. They get the guys out. Now he goes into the playoffs. I think
well, you're looking at how long a break, though. Theodore
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
8 days.
I know. It's easy for me. There's probably reasons behind it. I just don't like my goaltenders going into the playoffs with a negative loss. That's all. I always worked it around. I remember one time, and we got hammered one time, and I put Jilly Gilbert and I saved Cheevers. We went to Buffalo, and we got hammered like 8-1, and Harry was just out of his mind that the Boston Bruins got beat that much. And I always said, well, Buffalo always wins the big game. Had Cheevers coming back. I always protected my goalies like that. I just don't like them going to the playoffs negative.
Because Ottawa wasn't a healthy lineup for sure, and that was
Right.
going to be a toughie. The thing, they brought up that Martin Prussia kid, gave him a sniff, and that was a bit suspicious to me. It reminded me of Jean-Marc Pelche with Philadelphia when they threw him in a month ago, and then Van Beesbroek had a tough playoff. Ottawa's in tough, and Curtis Joseph, I mean, what do you think? Is he okay to go against New Jersey? It looks it'll be New Jersey.
Well, I'm sure he's going to try him. I'll tell you, boy, Pat has got a real tough choice there. I mean, they all look pretty good. Brasso looked good tonight. Schwab, he's been holding them in there. But you got one of the best goaltenders in the world. You got to give him a shot.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm sure he'll give him a shot. The question is he ready?
Well, you asked me, and what am I going to say? He's not going to give him a shot?
But are you afraid that that's a tough... It's interesting that it's Brodeur. It's a great challenge to Curtis, and maybe he's got a little bee in his bonnet that it's...
Oh, you think so?
Anyhow, at the Islanders...
Are you saying that he wants to beat Brodeur just to show Pat Quinn Ron?
I think that's what I was thinking, yes. But I wondered if you were thinking along those lines.
I wasn't.
And now Ottawa goes and faces Philadelphia. Maybe a bit of a break for them to not have to deal with the Toronto scene or Montreal.
Well, it looked like Phillies, I don't know whatever happened to them that time, but it looks like they come around a little bit. Whatever happened to Leclerc and Recchi and all those guys, I just don't understand what happened to Philly, but maybe it's a sleeping giant. Now they can go in. I can hear Billy Barber, look, we've really looked bad the last couple. Let's throw it on the playoffs and like that. It's really something to me how I can read in the paper that Billy Barber is going to get fired when he was coach of the year this year and all he went through, and I hear stuff like that.
Here's for Ty Domi, his big goal from last night. This is against Pittsburgh. It's one of the prettiest goals. It's got to be the prettiest goal he's ever scored.
Oh, I've seen prettier ones.
You have?
Lots. He's had lots of them. Look, he streaks it away. He just goes in there. Look at him go there, boy. Little Hidalgo going there. Wow. The only reason he's having such a good year, here it is against, the only reason he's having a good year is that he's playing a lot. And that's why if you don't play, it's tough to put goals in from the end of the bench.
Unless the Islanders beat Philadelphia, he'll face Scott Niedermayer and the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So the battle lines are being drawn. Montreal blanked, and Toronto wins by 3 here in Ottawa. We'll continue en route to Calgary on Hockey Night in Canada.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Tim Hortons Roll Up the Rim to Win, with millions of prizes available, including 20 GMC Envoys. So get rolling.
Hearty soup and a home-style sandwich. Lunch at Tim Hortons. It's a taste of home when you need it most.
At a moment like this, you don't want to depend on bargain brake parts. So have your brakes checked every year and ask for premium quality Raybestos brand brakes. They're tested and certified for your safety. A life-saving reminder from Raybestos, the best in brakes.
There are places on Earth where control is essential, where a single false step can be fatal. When that place is your wheat, Everest is your lifeline. Acre for acre, nothing controls more wild oats and green foxtail. No other herbicide gives you a higher level of confidence. Stay on top of grassy weeds with Everest.
Top 3 scorers in the NHL set to go at it. The Vancouver Canucks are undefeated in 8 games. Naslund with points in all 8. Todd Bertuzzi with 7 goals over that stretch. Vancouver, Calgary, that's nationwide on Hockey Night in Canada. Next.
This is a bed. This is a box seat at the game. This is the best seat at your favorite restaurant. And occasionally, it's the bank.